And a question that always comes and is asked to me is, why did I join Speakers Forum? So, Trish, why did you join Speakers Forum?
I have two main reasons why I joined Speakers Forum. The first one is the club is for people who've already completed the competent communicator, which means the people in the club are going to have typically more experience than in a regular Toastmaster club. In fact, in Speakers Forum, I would guess that probably close to half the people have distinguished Toastmaster or at least an advanced communicator gold. So they're quite experienced and can give me that feedback that I'm looking for.
Those are experienced people who've given a lot more speeches, right?
And again, most regular clubs, you're doing a 5 to 7 minute speech, but in Speakers Forum, we have a 3-hour meeting, and we love it when people work with the advanced manuals that are longer speeches. For example, facilitating discussion might be a 20-minute or half-hour, or if you're working on the professional speaker manual and you want to work on a keynote speech, a 15 to 20-minute speech. So those are two big things, is the advanced experienced members in the club and the fact that I get to work on longer speeches and some of the more advanced manuals. So what brought you to Speakers Forum?
When I joined Speakers Forum, I was interested in becoming a professional speaker, and I'm looking for opportunities outside of the club where I might use my skills. So we were focused at that time on helping people to develop PowerPoint, things like this, and make sure that we were paying attention to the audience so we didn't put them to sleep, which could happen. And that was very successful. That's what I do now for a living after all these years.
Great.
So I was looking for those opportunities.
Have you also noticed that we only do round-robin evaluations? In fact, we just put 5 minutes on the clock and everyone in the room gives you feedback. And what I like about that as opposed to a regular club where one person gives you feedback is, if I get 5 people in the room saying the same thing, I probably should take notice of that and work on that area. But if maybe only one person brings up an item and the other people say, oh, it's not so important, again, it gives me a range of feedback.
Yes, sometimes the range can be quite startling too. The first speech I gave, I got an evaluation from a good friend of mine who said, guess what? That wasn't a very good speech. There's so many things wrong with that. We need to fix that. They were right. I did, and it worked. That was a key point to it.
Well, that's a good point, is when you're given feedback, you have to be open.
Very much open.
Okay. And then just also, in this club, I love the fact that you always bring your projector, your computer projector. In some clubs, they don't have that equipment, but if you want to work on becoming a professional speaker, the fact that we have this equipment is excellent. And in addition, I love the fact that you've given some kind of tales from the road since you are a professional speaker. For example, items about microphones and what kind of a microphone should you use.
Yes.
So I love the fact that you have also given that type of information to our club members.
I think that's a legitimate expectation in the club, that it would in fact go much larger than that. So that's very cool. Very good. So are you getting what you want out of Speakers Forum?
I do, because especially the fact that I can at the beginning of my presentation, I can say, okay, here's the project, but in addition, could you also make sure you look for these particular items? So we can also do works in progress.
Yes.
I'm looking at doing this type of presentation. Here's my ideas. Can you give me some feedback to help me tailor it to this is the expected audience?